Welcome to Dr. Charles Speaks, a podcast for now. You've joined us for a special series of transformational talks, selected exclusively from Dr. Charles's corporate success calls. The 15-minute calls are designed to encourage leaders, activate your thought life, and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Dr. Charles joins every call with a blend of his personal experiences, his expertise as a John Maxwell certified mentor and coach, and of course, his more than 30 years of exceptional experience in both corporate America and ministry. Get motivated with Dr. Charles Speaks, a transformational talk from the Red Line on today's podcast, inspiring excellence and generating results.
Good day, my friends. This is Dr. Charles, and let's make it a great day today. For that matter, let's make it a great week. This is the Red Line. This 15-minute call is designed to start you off on a great week and certainly on a positive note and to inspire you, that is, continue to challenge yourself in your personal leadership growth. And so with the time that we have today, I want to continue to talk about this subject of failing forward. Failing forward. You don't like the word failing. Nobody likes the word failing, but there is wisdom that comes out of failing. We don't want you to be stuck in the mud. We want you to fall forward and continue to move towards the direction of success. Keep trying. Keep moving. Keep stepping in the right direction, and you're going to get there where you're going. What's the main difference today I want to talk about is the main difference between people who achieve and people who are just plain on average. We want to be better than average. What makes achievers excel? Think about that question. What is it that makes them excel, and why do some people just skyrocket it, and why others just plummet it and become just average? That's the question, and that's something we want to move from average. We want to move from good to great. That book that came out, Good to Great, someone said you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And so when you talk about this subject of what's the main difference between achievers and people who are just merely average, there's something about that because achievers are driven. They have a purpose in mind. They're determined to continue to grow, and they're determined to reach where they're going. And so the first step towards getting somewhere is simply to decide that you are not going to stay where you are. And that's what I'm all about, is continuous learning, continuous growing. I'm not going to become complacent where I am. I want to continue to grow, and I want you to continue to grow, because we're not just going to bottle it up in a bottle and keep it all for ourselves. We're going to share it, and we're going to make a difference in this world. If you can just only imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can just only dream it, you can become it. I've said before, whatever the mind can perceive, it certainly can achieve. But the toughest thing about success is that you've got to keep on being successful. You got to keep on learning, and this is what achievers do. They want to always continue to grow and continue to make a difference, and it is what they are doing. Well, I always use the sports analogies. You take the golfer, or you take the basketball player, or the athlete just in general. They're always continuously trying to better their game, sharpen their game, become better. Because what happens is people are always trying to, those that achieve, trying to always be better and to be the best at what they do. And in order to be the best, they have to continue to stay relevant. They have to continue to watch out for the things that could make their game better. Look for the things that could take them the opposite direction, and be careful, and so that they can be at a place where they can continuously learn and grow. The difference between average people and achieving people is their perception of and response to failure. The people who excel, they have a different response to failure than the people who are just plain on average. And it comes down to, on one side of it, people who fail, they examine it, they fail forward, they learn, and they keep going. People who fall on the other side, the average person looks at failure and says, I'll never do that again. I'll never try that anymore. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm just going to be content just where I'm at. But the difference lies in those that keep moving. There's a gentleman who once said, there's no doubt in my mind that there are many ways to be a winner, but there is really only one way to be a loser, and that is to fail and not look beyond the failure. So we have to look beyond the failure in life, because in life, the question is not if you will have problems, because we know that everyone is going to have to deal with some sort of problem in life. The question is, are you going to fail forward, or are you going to fail backwards and retreat? You know, sometimes failure is costly, but there have been people that have given up all of their resources in order to try one more time. And so today I'm asking you to try one more time, to revisit that area where you have passion, that area where you have dreams, but yet you've let the little lawyer on the inside of you talk you out of it. I want you to reopen the case, and I want you to look at it a little closer and try again. There is no achievement, my friends, without failure. That's a reality. Anybody that's ever done anything, they failed once or twice or maybe multiple times. But you, my friends, we all have the potential to overcome, that is, any problem, to overcome any mistake or any misfortune. But all we have to do is to learn how to fail forward. Don't look back. Keep it moving, as I've been saying. I want to share with you, with the time that we have, a contrast of achievers and those who remain to be just average. And we're more than average. I just believe we are better than that, and we can continue to grow and become achievers. So there is a major difference between the average person and the achieving person. And so in that contrast, when you think about it, the achiever, when they look at their situation, instead of failing backwards, they fail forward. And there's a difference. They are not giving up hope on the other side of failure, and they continue to keep their eyes on the prize. The second thing that an achiever does is they take responsibility. They own their stuff. They own their mistakes. They examine themselves, and whereas on the other side, the average person is just blaming others, perhaps, using the blame game. But the achiever is taking on responsibility. Another thing that the achiever does is they learn from each one of their mistakes, whereas the average person perhaps is repeating the same mistakes. It's just like just doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results. Because if nothing changes, nothing change. And so the achiever, they're looking at how to make a difference and continue to learn and grow from their mistakes. Another thing about achievers is that they know failing is a part of progress. And that is a part of life journey as well. There's going to be the failing aspect of life, but it's going to be looked at it from either a negative view or from a positive view. The average person thinks about expecting never to fail again. I'll never try that again. I'll never do that again. That's the mindset, the difference between the achiever and the average person. The achiever, they maintain a positive attitude no matter what. My podcast has been all about positive leadership, positive attitude, whereas others may continue along the pathway of expecting something to fail, to continuously fail. You know, those are the naysayers, the people who say, well, I tried that, it just doesn't work. But achiever says, I tried that, it doesn't work, but I'm keeping on, and I'm going to try again, and I'm going to try again, and I'm going to try again, and one day it's going to work, and more than likely it does. Another attribute that achievers do, they challenge outdated assumptions. And while they continue to be relevant for today's times, they take risk, whereas the average person accepting tradition blindly, not having a clue. And taking new risk is so important. And one of the things about taking new risks, we can make a difference. Because if there's no risk takers, then there's no growth. And there's no opportunity to expand our horizons. The average persons, they think in terms of being limited by past mistakes. But the achiever, one of the things that they do, they believe in something and they hold on to it. Whereas the average person is perhaps thinking about, it's no use of going forward. I'm just simply a failure. Another thing is that achievers do, they never, ever give up. They continue to persevere. Perseverance is so important, whereas others may find quitting is the easy option to leave their dreams, to leave their hopes, to simply quit. I know we've all felt like quitting at times. I know I have it many times and tried a couple of things, but I found that the more you go at it, I remember as a child getting into playing the game of basketball. Now, I never became a professional basketball. Let me just say that up front. But just learning the game and playing against guys that were better than me. And I would go up for a shot. They would block it, knock it out of bounds. I would take an open shot and miss the basket altogether. I would try to defend an offensive player and they would score on me. But as I continue to go and play and continue to practice, I become better. I learn how to defend my opposing player better in playing defense. I learn how to adjust my shot so that I can get a good view of the shot. I learned how to figure out how far away from the basket I could be and make the majority of my shots. I practice and I continue. I could have quit and given up on the game. Now, I didn't have it in me to continue to play the rest of my life basketball, but I played for leisure and I had fun at it and I became decent about it, nothing to brag home about it, but I had fun. And I could play and enjoy it and have a good time with friends along the way. But the key today is realizing that whatever you try, whatever you have a passion for, just remember you are an achiever. You're not the average person. I don't believe God made anybody to be average. I believe there's a diamond inside of each and every one of us, and then all we've got to do is see it and examine it and begin to polish it up and begin to display it and begin to continue to work on ourselves so that we can help others and we can be better and doing what we do each and every day. The world is moving fast these days, and that is so true. But in the midst of moving fast, in the midst of failing, in the midst of making a difference in life, we can too continue to move with the times and continue to grow and become better than we ever thought we could be. You don't start climbing a mountain to get to the middle. You climb the mountain to get to the top, my friends. And so Bill Glass, he once said, when you get an insight or when you get inspiration, do something about it within the first 24 hours, or the odds are against you forever acting on it. We've got work to do. This is Dr. Charles you've been listening to. Let's get back to work. Let's make it a great week. Until next time, have a good week. God bless.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Charles Speaks. Visit drcharlesred.com for booking info for your ministry, business, or leadership team. Get info about The Red Line, a 15-minute corporate success call each Monday morning with Dr. Charles. Follow Dr. Charles on all social media at Dr. Charles Red. Subscribe to the podcast here for every episode of Dr. Charles Speaks. Thanks for joining us. Like Dr. Charles always says, no matter what, never, never, never give up. Until next time.